The Honda CRX, originally launched as the Honda Ballade Sports CR-X in Japan, is a front-wheel drive sports compact car that was manufactured by Honda between 1983 and 1991. It was replaced by the Honda CRX del Sol for the 1992 model year. Although there are many supposed definitions for the acronym CRX, the most widely accepted is Civic Renaissance Model X. In the US-spec, the CRX was marketed as an economy sport kammback, with room for 2 passengers. The European-spec car received a ZC 130 HP engine and a 2+2 seating arrangement. Redesigned in 1988 and produced to 1991, the CRX was popular for its performance, nimble handling, and good fuel economy. In the United States, its performance model, the C not the equally sized JDM Si 1590cc's DOHC engine, was a favorite. Honda's 1992 CRX del Sol was marketed as a CRX in some markets. The first generation CRX was sold in some regions outside Japan as the Honda Civic CRX. At its introduction, the CRX was available in Japan at Honda Verno dealership sales channels, and accompanied the Vigor, the Quint, and the Prelude. The original 1.3-liter car had an EPA highway mileage rating of 52 miles per gallon in 1984 and was reported to often achieve over 70 mpg in favorable driving conditions. The later 1.5-liter American market CRX HF model could also reliably achieve very good gas mileage, more than a decade before gas-electric hybrids appeared on the market, and at no price premium over the base model. The 1.5-liter is rated by the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency at 42 miles per U.S. gallon city and 51 miles per U.S. gallon highway. The Japanese C and European 1.6i16 models came with a 1590cc's DOHC engine putting out 135 bhp in the UK-spec model and 140 bhp in the JDM model. Though similar versions of the same engine, the Japanese C engine was stamped ZC, whilst the European engine was stamped ZC1. Second generation, the chassis was significantly changed in 1988 from its original torsion bar front and semi-independent rear, to fully independent wishbones all around in line with its sister Civic Ballade models. Outside of North America, this Generation 2 CRX was available with a 1495cc's SOHC or an updated version of the 1590cc's DOHC ZC engine. Many of these were fitted with fuel injection as standard. In September 1989 Honda also added the 1595cc's B16A VTEC engine to the lineup outside of America. The VTEC engine used variable valve timing to provide increased power in the high rev range, while still allowing low fuel consumption and better idling at lower PMs. The B16A produced 150 bhp in the European 1.6i VT model and 157 bhp in the JDM Si model. The CRX was the second car to receive a VTEC engine, shortly after the Integra, although the CRX was more popular and common. The VTEC-equipped models also received a makeover, with updated bumpers, lights, bonnet hood, brakes, suspension and dashboard design amongst other things. Additionally, some of these design changes were added to the concurrent non-VTEC models. One of the options for the Japanese domestic market CRX was a glass roof, a fixed glass panel which stretched from the top of the windshield to the top of the hatch opening. Relatively common in Japan, these are sought-after models in other markets. Second-generation CRXs in the US could choose between 3 different trim levels, the standard with the 16-valve 1495cc's D15B2 engine and dual-point fuel injection, the HF model with the 8-valve 1495cc's D15B6 engine and multi-point fuel injection, or the C model with the 16-valve 1590cc's D16A6 engine and MPFI. DX models were available with an automatic transmission, all others had 5-speed manuals. The C models all came with a power-sliding sunroof. A modification was made to the rear of the vehicle on all second-generation vehicles in that a glass panel was installed on the upper half of the rear of the vehicle, above the tail lights which aided in rearward visibility in addition to the glass hatchback. This panel is heavily stippled black. Third generation, in 1992, Honda replaced the CRX with a new, targa-topped, Civic-based model called the Honda Civic del Sol, otherwise known as simply the Honda del Sol. The Del Sol was also badged as the CRX del Sol in some markets, and known as simply the CRX in others. It is because of this that the Del Sol is generally considered the third-generation CRX among enthusiasts, although it was arguably a very different car and Honda had seemingly quite different design goals when they built it. In the United States, the Del Sol came in 3 trim lines, S, C, and Tika. The 1994 Euro 1997 models featured a 160 HP DOHC VTEC engine. Production of the Del Sol ended in 1997, and thus, the CRX line was retired. Articles on the CRX have compared its appearance to that of the Honda Insight. In 2010, 13 years after the end of CRX production, Honda released the CR-Z, regarded as the spiritual successor to the CRX. Awards. The CRX was Motor Trend magazine's Import Car of the Year in 1984. The CRX was Motor Trend's Import Car of the Year for 1990. It also made Car and Driver magazine's 10 Best list for 1985. The redesigned CRX was on Car and Driver magazine's 10 Best list for 1988. The CRX-C was Motor Trend's Import Car of the Year for 1988. The 1988 CRX-C was named one of Road and Track's 10 Best Cars of All Time. Safety. In Australia, the 1988 to Euro 1991 CRX was assessed in the Used Car Safety Ratings 2006 as providing significantly worse than average protection for its occupants in the event of side impact. On the other hand, both versions of the CRX got good safety marks in the NHTSA crash test results for 1997 US-NCAP. The US version of the second-generation CRX employed the use of side impact door beams on some models. These models can be identified by the mounting position of the safety belts. If the belt is mounted in the door, the beams are present. If the belt is mounted in the body, there is no additional reinforcement. 88 and 89 HFs along with 88 SIs and DXs have the B-pillar mounted restraints, like all versions sold outside of the USA. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration in the USA has determined frontal crash test ratings of Honda CRX of different model years. USDM curb weights, Motorsport. Like the Civic, due to the wide availability of parts, the CRX is popular for motorsport usage. In the United Kingdom, there was a one-make series dedicated to the Series 2 of the CRX which soldiered on a few years after the Series 3 was introduced and was popular for showroom stock racing series. Nowadays, the car is popular for drag, autocross, and road racing events. Notes. External links, 1988 Honda CRX brochure, 1987, PA 21-22. Second General Honda CRX brochures, Second General Honda CRX specifications, Honda Press Library, CRX series, official library of original press information and fact books on all of the CRX series. 1. Article on the CRX.